Welcome again to the next edition, season two of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong. I'm here with my brother, Jaquari Armstrong and Damon Armstrong. We have special guest, Angelo Williams, and his brother, Damon Williams. Damon will be joining us probably momentarily, but what we're here to do is have conversations with everyday people. I think that today's gonna be a special day, man, because even though these guys are grown, man, we watched them grow up. So just come on this little ride with us, and then we'll just go from there. You know what I mean? So, uh, Damon, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. I had a great, wonderful day today, man. Today is my grandbaby's first birthday. Me and her chilled today, man. You saw she smashed the cake today. You know what I'm saying? She had a ball, man. She had a ball, and I was there with her every minute, every second of the day, man. I loved it.
Cool,
You
man. I'm
know,
happy for you, man. Love your
yeah,
grandniece. Love your grandniece. You
yeah.
know what I
And I
mean?
want to also give a shout out to Antoine Mosley Hardaway. Today is his birthday too. So
Happy birthday, past guest,
Happy birthday,
good
bro.
brother, man, good brother.
Happy
Corey,
birthday.
how you doing today, brother? I know you having
Man, I'm
technical.
struggling, man.
Go ahead.
he started with that.
You struggling?
I'm struggling, man. I'm sitting here, man, trying to navigate this technology, man. I always said technology is a tool of the devil, man. And
Wow.
he tried to break my spirit, but I won't let it.
Were you in the hands of the Lord?
Hey, man. Angie, how you doing today, brother? Welcome to our situation.
Oh yeah,
Welcome,
welcome,
cuz.
man. Thank you. Uh, I'm good, man. This is using my relaxed time, man. Just got old.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, look, while we waiting for Damon, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some housekeeping. And so this is what I'm gonna do. Basically, what's going on is just to let you know a little bit about our channel and asking you to subscribe. Because first and foremost, this goes live on Facebook every Friday at 7:30. Right now, our goal to our channel on YouTube, Strong Perspective Podcast, we have one of our goals is to reach 1,000. Mostly because we want people to see us. Mostly because we want to reach people and just speak to everyday people and speak to everyday people. You know what I mean? So my guys, my Facebook friends, my 1,300 Facebook friends, take 5 minutes and subscribe. No, I'm not begging you to do it. I'm just asking you to do it. You want to know why? Because I feel we have something to say. Because each and every person that we have on this situation, each and every person, after they're done, I believe, and my brothers and myself believe, that they have a stronger understanding about themselves and us. Damon, what do you think about that?
Yeah, man. Like you say, man. Even though we maintain our lives and do what we have to do, we are everyday people, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about communication, talking, staying focused, but living in peace also, man. You know what I'm saying? So just to piggyback on what you said, man. As far as everyday people need to come on and just kick it with us, man. You know what I'm saying? Ask questions, we'll respond to them. You know what I'm saying, as best we can. And everybody's comfortable in their own space, man. And that's what really matters. Especially in this world that we living in, man.
Amen.
You know.
Jaquari, you have anything you want to contribute, brother?
I'm not really sure what the question was, man. Because I'm having technical difficulties, man. But just backing up what Damon was saying, man. The only way people really get to know each other, man, is through connection. Through situations that aren't intimidating, through non stressful situations. Like this. We come together, man. We don't really have a political topic to talk about, a religious topic to talk about. It's just us expressing, our love for one another, man, and our desire to get to know, each other on a deeper level. You know what I mean? And I think we've done a pretty good job of achieving that, man. And the people we have on, each one of individual stories about how those people, moved us, in a particular way, and for us to have the privilege, man, to share our feelings about these people to other people is important, man. But for us to be able to share our feelings about these people to those, particular people, man, that's enormous, man. That's enormous, and I wish it was something I had the opportunity to do more often.
No doubt. No doubt.
But that's it.
So let me just say this real quick. Welcome to Terrence Johnson. Love you, brother. Lawrence Reed. Love you, brother.
Hey, family.
Guests, man. Glad to see y'all watching and paying attention, baby.
Yeah.
I want to reiterate, guys who's listening, guys who are on Angelo's and Damon's and Jaquari's Facebook page, go to Strong Perspective Podcast and subscribe. Check us out. We probably have something for everyone, male and female now, and we are looking for female guests. We are actively looking for female guests. Reach out to me.
Hey, don't have me start calling y'all out now.
Go ahead, Jaquari.
Hey, Keith.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, if I could just take a second, man. Hey, man, I really want to take a second, man, to acknowledge, man, the work and the effort you put behind this. Man, I appreciate that. This is something, man, that I started out truthfully, man, dealing with half-heartedly, but then it became more comfortable, man, and I think you're doing a hell of a job, bro. For real. Damon,
I concur, man.
Hey, man, you got some deep points to make, man. You got some deep points to make, man, and you've been making them, man. You've been kicking ass, bro. You've been kicking ass, man. And I'm happy that I'm happy and I'm proud to say that. You do, man, for real.
Oh man, you gonna have me in here in tears, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Thanks, bro, man.
Yes, sir.
Angelo, so this is what we're gonna do, man. Cause see, that was a nice little segue, and we're gonna segue into you, brother, and gave you, because you and I had a prior conversation before everybody came on. You said, I don't have anything prepared. I told you don't need anything prepared. All you're doing is having a conversation like we're doing now. So let our audience know about yourself. You don't have to get too deep, or you can get deep. It's entirely up to you. But let us know. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Well, my name is Angelo Williams. I've been a part of this family since 1977. And started off rough, man, but I like where it's headed right now. You know what I mean? A lot of bad decisions taught me how to make good ones. So
that's real.
I'm just here, trying to live a decent life, and enjoy the time we got left, man.
No doubt.
Well, you doing a hell of a job, cuz. You know what I'm saying? You kind of skirted by that, but you doing a hell of a job, man.
Of course. How many children do you have, man? How many siblings do you have?
I don't got no children. They grown.
They've been wrong.
But 23, 21, I got a 17, about to be 18-year-old. They all in school, so
that's grown.
Yeah, they grown.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't mess with girls who got toddlers or nothing like that. Everybody got to be grown.
And so basically, what you're saying, you're single. So tell us, give us an idea how it is to be single in these days and times.
Whoo, we got
shit.
I asked that question to mess with Angie more than anything, but go ahead, bro.
It's crazy because, like I said, you got two people at our age that's single, right? Obviously, somewhere in the mix, you didn't work well with others. Me too. So
right.
And you laugh, but these facts.
No, I'm following you, man.
No.
But it's weird how people expect. Like, I done met so many girls, man, that they expect you to have so much more than they got. They want your bank account to be A1, your credit to be A1. You got to have your own place. And they say that, and then you can still, like, if you look at most relationships, what happens? The guy moves in with the girl. You know what I'm saying? So they got these expectations, but they really don't follow because it's weird to me, man. Like, you know what I mean? I done met people with, they renting a home or and you got your down payment and the ability to fix your credit, but it's all in your closet. You know what I mean? Like, people priorities is crazy right now.
Great point, man. Great point.
In your closet or on your feet.
Yeah, and here's the thing, though. You notice Angie said people. Now, it goes both ways with that.
Yeah. I got homeboys the same way. So.
But see, the one thing about it is the one thing I understand about you is you younger than us, but you're old head. So you've seen everything evolve into what it is today. You know what I'm saying? So you're able to make a choice.
Well, you gotta make mistakes. I mean, you can't be ashamed to recover from those mistakes. You gotta make mistakes, and you have to also recover from those. I made a lot of mistakes, and just having to recover, rebuild. I mean, sometimes you be ashamed of it. You know what I mean? But just getting through it and having to recover, your bounce back gonna be better than your fall off any day.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Let me just say this to you, man, because I respect you, always respected you, man. So here's my thing. This, from a married man, been with my wife for 30-something years, right? The things that you went through as a single man, right? We go through as married men, right?
What up, Cuzzo?
What's up?
What's going on,
Still in the
brother?
car, man.
That's all right. That's all right. We live right now, brother, but you good.
Okay, cool.
But here's the thing. Though, and you can look at it as a two-way street. You had the wherewithal to say, hey, I don't want to deal with this. I'm gonna move on. Me, what did I tell you yesterday about you and Jacory about sticky fingers?
You're not a quitter.
I'm not a quitter. You see what I'm saying? And see, that's why I try to help people to understand. It's like everybody goes through the same thing, but everybody has a different tolerance level. It's what it is, you know.
But you got the right person who you don't want to quit on. That's the key.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's real.
Sometimes I can look over something and say, hey, you know what? I'm putting too much into this. I'm gonna cut my losses now.
And I respect that. I respect that.
That's self-awareness.
My tolerance is like, the older I get, my tolerance is like real short. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. A couple years ago, man, I met the perfect girl, and it was just that at the time I knew good well I didn't want to bring in, like Me and my ex had just broke up that day. This girl had gave me, I was going to school with her, and she had gave me her number, and I was just like, I had just moved out this condo we was living in. Man, I was in the one bedroom apartment with nothing but some DVDs, a TV, and a blanket. I just said right then and there, I said I got to get me together, no matter what. You know what I mean? So.
Damon Williams.
Yes, sir.
Now, how far are you from the house? Because what I want to do, I want you to be able to, I'm going to give you the same opportunity as your brother to talk about who you are and give us everything that you want to share with us.
I'm about 9 minutes from my house right now.
Okay. All right, well, let's begin with this then. How was your day today, brother?
My day was actually pretty good, man. I took my son to Michigan camp yesterday, and I'm kind of recovering from that drive back.
Okay.
But pretty good, you know. Got a chance, go to practice, do a little bit of 7-on-7, and talk to some of my younger players that were up there hanging out. Because a lot of them are in summer school, and I'm like, look, school, we can't play with school. School's a whole different ball game. I don't want to hear nobody give me that bullshit. Everybody don't need school to be successful. Well, partner, if you want to play football at the next level, you need school to be successful.
You do.
I don't want to hear my daddy say it. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear my mama. I don't want to hear none of that. They're not on the field with you. And some parents, I had a quick little parent meeting with them to basically explain. Let us coach. Okay? If your kid, if we don't do individuals here, he'll stand out on his own if he's the athlete you think he is.
Gotcha.
Plain and simple. So, and if you got a problem with what I'm saying, take it. I got an incoming freshman class of 90 football players. We might have to do 2 teams.
Gotcha.
We got 75 on the JV and 130 on the varsity.
Gotcha. I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Question for you. You are an educator. You're a teacher.
Yes.
And a coach at the same time, just in case anybody didn't catch that. What is the difference between the two, or is there a difference between the two when it comes to your impact on young men?
So, right now I'm a counselor. I had to step out of the classroom because of an incident back in March.
Okay.
I had a kid throw a chair that missed me, and it hit one of my female students and split her head wide open, and then he spit on me. And I popped him in his lips. But as for the difference between being a coach and an educator, being a coach allows me to be a little bit more me.
Gotcha.
It allows me to give the, if you want to look at the reality of life, and if you plan on playing this sport at a higher level. Being a teacher, I get to kind of sort of mix the same thing, but the professionalism has to come out. I have to be completely professional the entire time I do it, while I'm teaching. And I stepped out of the classroom because, like I said, I don't tolerate spit from nobody. I'm sorry. And that's just not cool being a teacher. They didn't want to fire me. They didn't ask me to leave, but I knew I couldn't stay in that situation.
Understand.
Where there's actually no protection from the administration, from stuff like this that happens throughout these schools. It was like a friend of mine was asking me the same thing. Like, well, you're a veteran, so I know you're all for carrying a gun in the classroom. Hell no.
That was my next question, but go ahead and elaborate.
I wouldn't put a slingshot in any of my co-workers' hands. For the simple fact that the funny thing is, the first place that they're going to put guns, they're going to put armed teachers are in school. those teachers are not colored get intimidated by little black boys, little Mexican boys, and whatnot. And the quick.
Damon, hold on for a second. Damon, hold on for a second. Let me give the background of this situation. This, for people who don't know, in the state of Ohio, they put it in law that teachers can bring firearms to school. Okay.
So Ohio approved it. Okay. Yeah, Ohio approved it, but Cleveland was the first school system to say no. They're not allowed it. But there are about 5 school systems around Cleveland that are now putting teachers in training to carry a firearm in the classroom.
Man, that's insanity, man.
But they only train them for a week, though, right?
I mean, it don't take long to learn how to use a gun, and it's not the idea of knowing how to use a gun. You have to have the mental fortitude to understand that if you're going to use a firearm, you have to use it for its purposes.
Yeah.
It's like people got pissed off when you take it all the way back to Trayvon Martin. Was George Zimmerman wrong? Morally, yes, he was very wrong. Because the only reason he shot that gun is because he was getting his ass kicked by a 16-year-old boy. But did he use the weapon for its purposes? Absolutely. When you fire a firearm in self-defense, you must use the weapons for its purpose, which is to kill. And most people don't get that part because your emotions took over. By no means am I saying that's right. What I'm saying is I do understand the law. And a lot of times that law is bullshit. And they found that loophole for him purposely.
Well, the stand your ground law, you're just not trying to get too caught up on it yet because I want to wait for you to be in your basement and settle in before we really get into meat and potatoes here. But the bottom line is this. I understand what you're saying, Damon, but here's my thing. Being in law enforcement for 30 years, man, always having a gun on my hip, right, when I went to work. The one thing I understood before I became law enforcement is if you pull it, your mentality is to use it, not to scare it, right?
Yep.
But the majority of people want to scare the other person so they don't get into a conflict. So you have to be careful, in which me personally, I don't know how you can get into the mind of each and every individual. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like this. First and foremost, I come from this is simplifying the whole thing. I come from a family of smokers, right?
Right.
My mother smoked, my father smoked, my grandparents smoked, my brother smoked, and my wife smoked, right? I've never picked up a cigarette. Not because I detested it or anything like that. It's just not in me. You see what I'm saying? Now, magnify that with something that takes lives. And the individual, it has to do with the individual. What's in the individual? You dig? That's the thing you have to tackle.
Right.
Know? But look, let me just do this because it is a tradition on our podcast. We recognize the folks that's in the comments. We also read what they're saying. Now, I don't know if you guys see this in the comment, but Jeffon Williams, right? Jeff's daughter. She says, I agree, though, with allowing teachers to carry, but they should go through the same training as military and police background checks and qualifying shooting. If they use it in the wrong, then they should be held accountable.
Check
what
that
do you guys
real
think
quick.
about that?
Y'all do not get, you got civilians, police forces do not get the exact same training that we get as military. No. You do not.
No, but
nowhere
hold on.
near.
Listen, basically, Damon, you guys are trained to kill.
Yes.
we are trained to stop the action, so we are trained short of doing that. You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying to you?
Yep.
So no, little cuz got a great point though.
Okay.
It has to be, you have to pile everything. And you know she's in the military too now. But you
Yeah.
have to pile as much as you can on the individual so you can cover all bases. That's what I think.
But
You know what I mean?
but you don't you know what I mean? You know something
Let
short
me run in the house real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
Let me
All right, we'll
run in the
see.
house.
Okay.
something short of arming teachers, man. You know, if you gave them, you know, uh, like more extensive training, you know, for how to secure a room, you
But they
know,
do it all the time though, bro. But
But
look, go ahead, Angel.
you know what? You we wouldn't even had this conversation if they would have never took that paddle out the classroom.
You
I'm
think
just
so?
saying,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That was like they took that out my first year, first grade, and that was my worst fear is getting whooping in front of everybody in class. You know what I mean?
man.
Now you got teachers worried about. You know, I know they have these the reason for them to have armed teachers, which is crazy just to say armed teachers. The reason why they have that is because these school shootings, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But
I haven't seen anybody in the inner city. You know what I mean? I don't went to school, people brought guns to school, but I never saw nobody have, shoot up a whole school. You know what I mean?
I mean, but with the progression of you know from you know them putting up gates in the school or whatever. You know, like everybody, you know, everybody seeing the movie Lean on Me when Crazy Joe put, you know, he locked the doors or whatever. It was always doors, you know, locked doors and you know uh, gates locked around Ypsilanti High School. It was always that.
Metal detectors, go way
You know,
back to
like
the 70s, man, in
yeah, I
Detroit,
mean, but
high schools, you know what I mean?
people, you know, we need teachers to have heightened, you know, situational awareness training. You know,
That's
we need them to you know listen out for certain things, certain sounds that are red flags. And when they hear those sounds, they need to take action.
it's real.
You
It's
know, I
real.
mean, we need to, you know, see about, uh, uh, you know, reinforcing, the cedar blocks, and you know, in schools or whatever. You know, so
Look,
bullets won't pass through them. You know, once that door is secured, you know, in an active shooter situation, then that room is secured until the police come and unlock that room. That's
Yeah,
how it's done.
that's if they come in the damn building, man.
but
You
look,
understand what I'm saying? Well,
let me
that's
just
a
say
whole
this.
other story.
Let me just say this because we all have opinions about something, right? Now, here's the thing that I understand. When it comes to, let me just describe what's here in the county that I work in because I was a school resource officer for 12 years, right? And I was in the high school, one of the worst high schools in the county. But the one thing I understood was, this is one point I want to make, is at any given time, because of the way the high school was, there was at least 10 guns on the students in the high school at one given time. It's every day. When I went in there, I understood that. But I was actively walking around engaging with everybody, right? Now, when you put an educated, teachers become educators for a reason because their personality is to help the children. Now, that's a knee-jerk reaction to put guns into a teacher's hands. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but it's knee-jerk. Like, whoa, hold on. How do you come from here the way the hell over here? Because the majority of the teachers in the school are women.
Can you imagine what's gonna happen when the teacher get that one student that she can't control, don't want to close their mouth? What you think she gonna do when she try to put them out in her class and discipline them? She gonna reach for that iron.
And that's the thing about it. That's why I was saying earlier when it came to when it came to the personality that's actually handling the gun. You know what I mean? It's like we don't know what's on this person's mind because it's hell, we don't know what everyday people are about. To be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Look, Angie, Damon, Jaquari, you listen, and this is not being braggadocious. You guys grew up with killers, right?
In the sandbox.
And they acted as normal as anyone.
But I get that, Keith. But the circumstances were entirely different, man. Because when people in our community carry guns, it's entirely economic, man. It's entirely economic. It's entirely, a status symbol. But when a conservative, non-melanated person decides to, get a gun and go to school, they're going to shoot. So you have the difference of economics and politics, man. You can't win that fight.
Right.
You can't win that fight.
Here's the thing, man. When you think about it, all of us grown ass man, we done went through our maturation process in terms of school and all that stuff, right? When you think about school, man, and your teachers, most of your teachers were who? White women, right? What was your experience with those white women? You know what I'm saying? They didn't see you as somebody that they can teach. And I'm not speaking from my own personal experience. They didn't see me as somebody that can teach. They saw me as somebody that had a problem. You know what I'm saying? Off rip. You know what I'm saying? Didn't even try to get to know me or whatever. Hey, he can't stand in the seat. Hey, he don't pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And that was their view of me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a societal thing, man. Even at that age, man, young black men are looked at as a problem child or a threat. You know what I'm saying? So imagine, and I'm not being racist in my thought process. I'm just talking about the situation. A kid who didn't have nothing to eat, grumpy as hell or whatever, the teacher already got an eye on him because she already viewed him as her problem child or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have an idea about him. You know what I'm saying? And ideally, underneath, there's going to be a threat there. You know what I'm saying? If he gets out of hand, I'm going to call the gym teacher to come in and take care of him. I'm going to call the assistant principal to come in and take care of him. You know what I'm saying? There's no conflict resolution there. So imagine a gun. Imagine a hammer in that situation. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, there needs to be a more tactical answer to this solution. If the teachers aren't armed, then at least the principals need to be armed. How about that? There needs to be a presence on campus.
It makes sense, right? You're making a lot of sense, Corey. But see, here's the thing. This is what happens, in which they do not do. They do not put police officers in elementaries. These mass shootings has always been elementary school. I just told you I was in a high school. The majority of middle schools have officers here. You see what I'm saying?
So here too. Well, they used to here.
Let's start with the obvious first. Put the larger schools, put at least in all elementaries, put at least an officer in there first, because that's where they do. Just in a roundabout way, they go to the easy target, right? Put an officer in those elementaries. If you got to put two in there. You feel what I'm saying?
I know I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that, man. But more so than just police officers, man. We need to have responsible adults who are willing to act, man.
But here's the thing. Let me just say this. Let me tell you what. When we got training, and then when I do this, I'm gonna acknowledge everybody that's on here, and also we're gonna get Damon to give us his who he is. But let me just say that our training is called rapid deployment. As a school resource officer, when you're assigned to that school, or if you're going to a school, your main job is to go. As people are running away, you're running toward the danger. Your job, I was trained to go and neutralize it, meaning kill whoever's trying to take the lives of these students and these teachers. That's our training. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. Now, you think about it logically? No, you can't think about it logically, man. You want to know why? You can't think about it logically because you're saying, hey, go, even though you might be outgunned, you go save your life, risk your life to save your life. That takes a special human being. This is why we're talking about the teachers. Teachers, to me, this is my opinion, are nurturers by nature. They don't want to take lives. So it'll be a hesitation, in my opinion. Now, think about it. All 5 of us, and Jafan and Malika and everybody on here, we all are saying the same thing. We are agreeing. But what we shouldn't do is take a piece off of it and let that be our opinion. Because it all needs to be grouped together, to be honest with you. It all needs to be grouped together.
I mean, it takes several pieces, to make a whole. There, I mean,
no doubt.
It's a situation, man. That we, there's some kind of solution that's got to be come to, man. I mean, because, our younger generation is slipping deeper and deeper, man. And the more, clinical route that we take to try to, solve these problems, man, it's just not working. It's not working. It's really not. I mean, you guys get them, in school or whatever, but I get them when they get kicked out of school, man.
Wow.
So dealing with these dudes, man, with these young men and these young women, who, by the way, man, are much more peril nowadays, and our young ladies who are involved in the criminal justice system have nothing. They have nothing. All the programs, man, all the post D programs, man, all the programs suited to help young persons who's been incarcerated, get on with with their lives are geared towards young men. You know what I mean? There's so many spokes in the wheel of this problem, man. I mean, it can't be fixed, with simple conversations, man. It's got to have, direct attention. It's got to have direct attention, man.
There's no doubt about it.
I mean, if you can't sit, everything, when you're in school, everything at that point in your life, man, rides on you walking that stage, man, and getting that lambskin, man. That's the first rite of passage. That's everybody's first rite of passage, man. But, when and these are smart kids we're dealing with. These are, kids today are no dummies, man. They are not dummies. But when status, the popularity, the freaking material shit is more important than their future, then we have dropped the ball.
All right, well, look.
We have dropped the ball. And I'm not talking about just as parents in our households, man. I'm talking about us being, parents in society.
No doubt. Well, look. Hold on for a second, Jaquari, because what I want to do is we can get back onto this, but we want to get back onto the program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to acknowledge the comments. I'm going to hold on, Damon, I got you. Hold on. Then we're going to go to Damon Williams and make sure that he give us what we need, okay? Now, Damon, when we come to you, we want to hear about who you are. Huh?
That's the only place. That's the only space problems are solved in addressed, man, through dialogue. For real.
Damon, what you just did is you disrupted the whole thing, bringing some deep shit to the situation. And what we're trying to do, we want to.
I just wanted to.
Hold on. I got you, Damon. Luke, I got you.
Thank
I
you.
just want to just make sure we understand that we're going to get back to this, but I want to make sure that Damon W, make sure Damon W give us who he is. All right, Damon A and Angelo, quickly give us your comments on this situation so we can get to Damon. You good?
I'm good. Yeah,
Look.
Go ahead, cuz. Go ahead, man.
No, he said he good. Go ahead, man.
No, man, I wanted to push back on what you said. You said what the teacher's role is nurturing, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to push back on that a little bit, man, because based on my experience, it might be, skewed a little bit, man, because, yeah, there's nurturing there if they look like you. But my experience was indifference, man. You understand what I'm saying? And what they use in terms of applying that indifference towards you, they placed you into a certain category, man. Whether you had to be medicated, whether you was you couldn't be taught or whatever. So yeah, as a whole, you know what I'm saying, you could say that, hey, a teacher's role is to be nurturing and teaching and all that stuff. But if you ask a brother, you ask a black man, was that the case? Or was it more of indifference, man? You know what I'm saying? Not mattering at all. So I just wanted to push back on that a little bit.
No. See, that's the thing about it is, I understand that.
And that goes along with carrying guns, man.
No, it don't, because
teachers carrying guns in school.
The reason why I brought it up was that was in general.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying to you? Because we grew up in the same time, so I understand that. That's not what we were talking about as far as bringing guns into the situation, in the school situation. And like I said, we all agree. It's not like, but we all got to find a certain place. But look, let me acknowledge the comments, because, like I said, Javon is blowing this situation up. So I want to give her due. She said, guns are in these kids' hands in our schools every day. I've only been in school system since December. 2 of my kids killed classmates that had guns in school through the day. What we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do then? Someone should be allowed to have firearms. I understand where you're coming from, Jeff. I get it, because you in the line of fire. I get that. You know what I mean? She said it's not enough police officers to be put in every school. It is if you hire them, baby. Believe me. It is if you hire them, because they find money for everything else. It's money there. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? You just talking to you, Jafar, you prior law enforcement too. So you understand that the money is there, but they just try to use Band-Aids. You know what I'm saying? And
Band-Aid on the bullet wound.
They don't want police in the schools, but hell, we want our kids safe too. You know what I mean? Lawrence says it has to start at home, in the community. If parents aren't having these conversations with their kids, the violence will continue. You know what I'm saying? Which is good. You both have great points. See, I'm not disagreeing with anyone. You understand? Because I want to hear. I like conversations. I like sparking those kind of things. You know what I mean? So now, Damon, we're gonna come to you. You disrupting our shit. You disrupting our flow. So you better have an interesting damn life right now, brother. No, I'm just kidding. But look, Damon, talk to us about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Tell us what you want us to know. You don't have to volunteer. Look, just talk about who you are. Just let the audience know.
I'm an open book. I'm an open book. So when I graduated high school, I gave it a shot at, a couple different colleges and thought that I could move forward from that, but it wasn't for me yet. So the military became, kind of a training ground, and California kind of, living there for 20 some odd years, California, Japan, and other places overseas, it gave me a more worldly view. And then, just wanting to be a teacher pretty much all my life, and being the type of person that had what I would call a pretty strict or stern upbringing as far as morals, that affected me on the type of teacher that I became. Because, as well as a father, for me, that's my greatest accomplishment, being a father, and allowing my kids a little something different than I had. I allow my kids to speak their mind, but be very careful about when you speak your mind, because on top of that, you got to learn how to speak with respect. And the funny part about it is they're just now learning that after, two of them are grown and, one's still a kid, but they get it. And I don't sugarcoat the shit at all. I refuse to. My children, you ask, you're going to get the truth. But you're going to get the best truth I can give you without putting you in my business. Once you understand where I'm coming from and you see how I move and you understand how I need you to move, it's smooth sailing. And the funny part about it is I'm slightly the same way with my students, because when it comes to students, I want you to know the reality of it and what's on the other side of these walls. Because I get tired of hearing the same, bullshit of, well, everybody don't need college to be successful. No, you don't, but everybody's not a Richard Branson. You understand what I'm saying? You need something in order to function and move around in this world. Whether I always told people, I said, if you grew up in southeastern Michigan, compared to the rest of the world, you were spoiled. And and we didn't even notice that. Michigan, one of the things I researched a long time ago was Michigan was the only state in the country that allowed 15-year-olds to get a full-time job. If you were 15 in the state of Michigan growing up when we grew up, you could get a full-time job at Univim hospitals or any one of the plants. Then by 1996, the plant shut that down and said, if you don't have a high school diploma, then we can either buy out your contract or we can send you to school. And that's what happened. So all those years, when you look back at it, people that worked in those plants, been working in those plants since they were 18, 19, 20 years old, doing 30 and 40 and 50 years, and retiring with great pensions. And so, no other place could you do that in this country. And so if you didn't follow suit by playing a sport to get out of the normal of where we grew up at, and it was kind of a tough road for you. And you had to use college. You had to use what you needed in order to function and survive. And so I repeat that to people. And I keep explaining them, okay, everybody's got a hustle. Everybody doesn't have $1 million hustle. So don't give me the whole, I don't need an education in order to be successful. Well, the only other way you're going to be able to feed your family without an education and without going the dope route, you're going to have to sacrifice a whole lot more than what you think. So it's just that whole idea of reality. Even when I'm in my classroom, it's reality. I have to find something that I know is going to equate to you in order to grab you. You don't understand. I need you to get what I'm saying? I need you to pick up what I'm putting down at all times. Because if you one of these kids that think life is super duper easy, then I got to commend your parents, because they did a great job in shadowing you away from what's really on the outside of your house. Because this world is not forgiving, and a lot of our kids don't know that. Spoke said something earlier that I agreed with. These kids aren't stupid. But from my point of view, they're inherently smart. most of their knowledge is already given to them. I mean, look at it now. If an upgraded cell phone comes out, that kid knows how to use that cell phone within 5-10 minutes. They're used to this technology. But somebody like us, it's going to take us a couple weeks to figure out how to fully use this new technology. So that goes along with today's learning. It's like an automatic thing. You see 4 or 5-year-olds sitting on smartphones going to work.
You know why? Because it's in the middle. That's why.
Damon, look, let me tell you something.
It's already there in them.
Let me tell you something, man.
They already know.
I can give.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I can give you 5 kids right now, man, who, you know, within 10 minutes of seeing, you know, your address and your name, they can steal your identity, right?
Yes.
But they cannot tell analog. They can't tell time on an analog clock.
Believe me, I know. One of my very first lessons in Cleveland, when I teach, my first 2 lessons, because kids are so quick to be like, oh, I ain't no snitch. First of all, none of you guys know what a snitch is.
Yes,
and my second lesson that I teach right after that, literally, is cardinal directions. I have yet to have a class that knew that Lake Erie is north of Cleveland. But they can tell me how much money certain things cost. They can tell. I had a kid, I mean, by trade, I'm a computer hacker. That's what I learned how to do in the military, other than shoot weapons. But I had a kid basically break down what took me 15 years to learn. He's like, oh, Mr. Williams, I can show you a better way to do that. Let me show you how to do this in the dark web. I'm like, whoa, not in school. Hold on, relax.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's like, believe me, I see it every day. Which is why, like, I'm happy I'm out of the classroom now, because being a counselor, it's a little. Now, I never wanted to be a guidance counselor or what they call a dean now, or even, you know, one of the principals of a grade, because the respect level is different. You know, when students have to come to the counselor or come to the dean, it's because you're in trouble. You know what I mean? But when it's their teacher, and if you're that cool teacher who stays the same with everybody, they open up like a book. So moving into the counselor role, not only did they figure out who I was and I figured out who they were, they opened right up. And it was so easy to sit here and figure out, okay, so what do you want? What you want to do? Let's talk about the reality of your future. You know, I don't just push college. Well, actually, I changed the narrative of what college is.
Okay. All right. Well, look, let me stop you right here, and I want to give everybody. Jabari gave his opinion about it, and if you have something else, I'm gonna let you go. But let me just ask, Angie, Damon, and Jabari, what Damon just said. In your eyes, the importance of going to school. Now, this is the bottom line. I went to college because my father asked me to go to college. Just a short background. Junior year, I played basketball and football for fun. That's it. I didn't know anything because up until then, your Uncle Jeff was the only one who's a year ahead of me that I knew went to college in our family. Now, it might have been somebody else, but that's the one person, because me and Jeff was like this, right? My father came to me after my junior year, me having fun on the football field, basketball court. He said, son, I want you to go to college. I said, why? Because what he asked me was, what do you want to do? I said, I want to join the Marines. And he said, no.
Oh, no,
he
you
said,
didn't want to be bullet sponge, did you?
Not because he had something against it. He said, son, you have the grades and the ability to go to college. This is what I want you to do because you got brothers following you.
That's that Furious Style shit right there, Doc.
Listen, that's the only reason why I went.
Yeah.
What you said, Jaquari and him?
That's that Furious Style shit.
Yeah. But look, here's the crazy shit about it. I'm gonna bring this home for you guys. I want to share this. So the next Monday, I went to my counselor. Understand, I was taking college prep courses for GP because everybody else was. Didn't know what the fuck that meant. It was real. But I had a 3.4 grade average throughout high school because I was always competing. That's it. Nothing but, honestly, man, because I was trying to, what I wanted to do was to be happy. Didn't have a goal, just to be happy. So I went to my counselor and I sat down. One of the nicest ladies I know, I forgot her name. Nice lady.
Mrs. Clark.
Nice. There she is.
Mrs. Clark. I had her too.
Nice and pleasant. And I said, hey, what do I need to do to go to college? Because my dad wants me to go to college. She said, huh? And this is only the reason why I'm saying this with her. Huh? What do you mean? Go to college. Before she looked at my transcript, she's my counselor. She never looked at my transcript. Right? She said, I'm not sure if you have the grades to do so. Right? I said, what do you mean? So she pulled it out and looked. She said, oh, so you don't want to be an electrician, construction worker, auto mechanic? Because you know at NC High, we had a separate high school that did all of that.
RTTC.
They need to bring that shit back to our situation. They need to. You want to know why? Because people, and I'm saying this for you, Damon, everybody is not meant for college. You know why? Because of their patience. They don't want to sit there for 4 years to deal with this shit.
Now, I'm going to change that for you. Everybody is meant for college. Simply what you just said, that's why I said I changed the narrative of what college is. College is anything that requires you to have a high school diploma, all right, or a GED in order to participate. The vocational studies, i.e. being an electrician, being a plumber, being a mechanic, those are the vocational studies, and guess what? Those are what you get those 2-year degrees in now. So to me, that's still college because you have to have graduated high school or at least needed a GED to attend. So that's what I explain to students now. That's still college.
I got you. Hold on, Dave.
Some form of higher education. Some form of higher education.
Yes, exactly.
Let me give your brother and my brother a chance to respond to this. Angie, you go first, bro.
What do I think college is important? I mean, if you think about it, all y'all got college degrees. I don't. But we all got the same things, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm here off pure hustle and hard work. So, but yeah, I do think college is important too because you don't have to, I'm not going to say you don't have to work hard, but if you put that work in early, once you get a certain kind of jobs, you don't have to work as hard. You know, you don't have to work 84 hours a week. You know what I mean? So it just all depends on the individual. I mean, actually, you know, I did terrible in high school, but I was in a program called Upper Bound, and for some reason, my counselor noticed I did much better in the college setting than I did in high school. How? I don't know. But I think that's basically based off who the individual is and your situation in life.
That's real. That's real.
Being a teacher, truthfully, that's how we teach. That's where I look at where most students fail, because so many teachers are taught an older way of teaching where it's just
You sit down, you shut up, and you pay attention to what I'm putting on this board or on this smart board. That is, you cannot teach all students that way.
Damon, not to cut you off, but did you see Tomlin on the pivot?
Yes, my head coach actually made us watch that. Watch that.
Pay attention, because you talk about teaching. That is a real teacher right there. All right, and he's teaching millionaires. Damon Armstrong, talk to me, brother.
Well, listen here, man. As far as college is concerned, man, you know how I was in high school, man. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't meant for me to make it any damn way. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, that was the expectation, man. But when I finally settled down and decided, I had the same experience with my counselor. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, she laughed at me and be like, "Are you serious, man? Maybe the military will take you." And she had this little young girl, white girl, come behind me and was like, "Have a good day, Mr. Armstrong." You know what I'm saying? That was about to the extent of it for me. But as far as education is concerned, man, you know what? You wouldn't know what I got out of. First of all, education, man. Education is all about indoctrination, man. For me, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you really want, now just to hit on what Angie was talking about, if you really want to get a kid interested in doing something and in building something in their life, you have to get them. You got to get them to understand who they are. School doesn't do that, man. What school do is teach you how to be in a card, to fit into a card. That's what it does, and that's why you lose a lot of people, especially African American kids. You lose them because you sitting there talking about a certain subject or whatever. It doesn't, they can't figure out how does that apply in my life. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know anything about their life or their struggles, so they become disinterested, man. You know what I'm saying? So to make a long story short, when I decided I wanted to go to college, I became disciplined. I became everything. And you know what my main thing was? Just like you said, Keith, is about competition. I wanted to prove everybody wrong. That was my goal, to prove everybody wrong. Because I heard so many people say, man, you ain't college mature, you ain't this, you ain't that. So I disciplined myself in the guise of showing other people that you don't fucking know me. You understand what I'm saying? And in the process of doing that, I did not figure out I didn't think about what it was that I was interested in. You could get a college degree. They get billions of dollars every year with people getting degrees and shit and can't do nothing with them. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't in their heart. It was just about getting the degree. But if you could see outside of when they first, at 5 years old, they first put you in school and they start putting you into a situation where you fit into something. You know what I'm saying? As parents, we have to teach our kids that, yes, you learn your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, but you also teach them and figure out what it is that they're interested in, where their heart is. Because when you sit up there talking to a kid and you're talking about all this education, they're looking at you like, okay, I understand it, but where do I fit in? You know what I'm saying? How does that make me special? Because everybody wants to be. There's not a person born on this planet that don't want to be fucking special, man. You understand what I'm saying? They don't want to be remembered. They don't want to leave a mark. Not one person. You know what I'm saying? So it's real. So I agree with y'all to a large extent, but it has to be a little bit more personal too. It has to be about them.
I mean, okay. Shaquar, great point, though, man. Great point. Shaquar,
Definitely.
What do you Because what I want to do, I want to hear your point of view, and then I'm going to acknowledge, like I said, acknowledge the comments because there's some interactive shit going on. Great points in the comments. I don't know if y'all can see it.
There's something to be said when African American male of stature is given the opportunity, man, to teach in any situation. I mean, anybody over 6 foot, and 200 pounds is never really taken seriously, by their peers. you know, as far as education goes, and, you know, unless they have a bunch of letters behind their names. But, you know, Damon, cousin David, you know, we're me and you, we're in a unique, you know, position where we actually are trusted with, you know, young minds or whatever, man. You know, and you could either go the route of following, you know, the company line and trying to educate, man, or you know, doing what doing what feels right, you know, and personally, man, as far as I'm concerned, doing what feels right, man, is me, you know, taking the time, you know, to talk to my people, man, talk to my kids, man, seriously, you know, and I push education, I really do. I push secondary education all the time, man, because you know, there's no shame in you know, being a collector. There's no shame in, you know, working HVAC. There's no shame in working with your hands, period. You know, but I do emphasize the fact that, you know, just because you start there, that, you know, you do not have to end there. You know, and with as savvy as you are as a person, man, you know, you can work your way up to where you want to be. You can, doing the right things, man. Being a respectful person. You know, being savvy. You know, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of mental agility, man. You know, to pull some of the crimes and shit that, you know, that I hear about. It's not easy. It's not easy being a hustler nowadays. It's not. It's not, man. But when
No,
you take
never
that
was.
same, yeah, if you know, if you're savvy enough, man, to take that same drive and initiative, man, to apply that hustle to some, you know, something legal, you know, there's no telling where you might be. And that's what we as educators, educators, man, have to make these, you know, young folks realize, man. You know, okay, college is so very important, man. But you know, the way I believe, you know, we was raised, man. You know, college is the world. The world is our classroom, man. You know,
Yes.
you just don't stop learning, you know, within the confines of this classroom here. I'm gonna plant a seed, you know, and it, you know, it's your responsibility, you know, as the receiver of that seed, man, to go out and cultivate it.
No
You know,
doubt.
so I'm gonna talk to you about everything, man. From freaking you know, the current Pope to young blue lyrics. I'm gonna talk to you about all of it. You know, if you think you're a rapper, you know, I'm gonna play some music for you, and I'm gonna ask you what it means. You know, describe to me what this means to you. You know, and within the process of you describing to me what this piece of music means, in your opinion, you'll be learning. You know, so was I honest? Yeah, I was honest in my intent, but I kind of had to trick you into learning. You know, once you get past that point, and you know, a young person starts to understand, man, that, you know, it's the pursuit of learning, man. You know, yeah, I have a subject, I have English, I have math, I have science, and you know, whatever the curriculum might be. You know, the pursuit of these subjects is where I learn. I'm always learning. Like I said, man, the world is my college.
No doubt.
You
No
know?
doubt.
So
But
yeah, man, you know, college is you know, paramount, man. But you gotta realize, you know, where you learn. You gotta realize that you're always being educated, man.
well,
Always
look,
being educated.
let me just say this. Okay, now we're in a situation right now as um, there is no one way to do things. This is not a exclusionary conversation that we're having right now. You understand? Just because, you know, I happen to have a college degree, I just told you why I went to college. You understand what I'm saying to you? This conversation is for everyday people to understand that we have so much more in common no matter what road that we took.
Mm-hmm.
This is always your opinions to me before you and the guy and the folks in the comments. Very important. I hear it all because, see, me personally, I have two-way conversations. I actively speak and I actively listen at the same time. It takes work to do that, but it's possible. Because what I like to do is solve problems. You see what I'm saying? Not to convince you to see my way. No, I want you to hear my way. Period. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less, because that will gain us so much more. You said something earlier, Angie. Hey, you guys have your college education. That don't mean anything. You want to know why? Because 4 years I was going to fucking college and I came home and my friends had homes and cars. And guess what I had? A place to go back to go get an education. It's how you look at things, brother. That's it. Now, let me just do this because I'm going to tell you, I knew this was going to be a great damn episode. But let me acknowledge everybody because I don't know if y'all was looking at these comments, but they going buck wild in this.
I can't even see them.
Hey, if you see comments, just click on comments on your screen and you may be able to see them. All right, I'm going to go up to, let me see. And I'm not going to read them all, but just the whole point. Malika, because Malika been on this joint the whole time. And you know how she get, right? And that's not a bad thing when I say that. You know, she wants to know. I always want to acknowledge her when she comes on. You know, this is one that hit me real hard. She said, there are people with disabilities that can't handle classroom instructions, but they may learn better by doing and seeing. We need that too.
That's called kinetic. That's called kinetic teaching.
I love that. I love it because that's a great point. You know what
That
I'm saying?
that is a great point for the simple fact that yesterday I was at work and an engineer came out. You know, he was trying to explain to me how my computer works, and I was trying to tell him how this belt run and all, and how the sheet metal got to get cut and go into this belt and get cut. And he looked at the other engineers. And he said, "See, you got to talk to the people to see what they know. That way you can educate yourself." And I said, "Wow."
Yeah. That's real.
You do. It's all communication, man. A lot of it is just honest communication. But you got too many people that want to be the smartest person in the room. That's one of the things I say to my son daily.
Damon, they want to be heard more than they want to actually participate. They just want to be heard. That's it. You know what I mean? Let me. Jafan said, trades are classroom education, right? You are being taught something, and every trade is a classroom, which is true because we kind of alluded to that. You said it, Damon. You know what I mean? That it's important. You're still getting educated through, even if it's a trade. And I'm gonna say it again: vocational schools need to come back.
They do,
because we need plumbers, we need electricians, we need construction workers. Because guess what? They make wonderful livings, and we always building, ain't we? Though, you know what I'm saying? You know, let's see. But no, the last thing Malika said, you know, said some will always be the smartest at what they know. That's deep. You know what I'm saying? Because you may not know what everybody else pick up quickly, right? But what's in your wheelhouse, you're a fucking expert at it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know?
Exactly.
What happens when there's no longer a use for that skill?
Bro, you ride that skill out until it's something else, until somebody like yourself, until somebody like yourself gives you another route to it, bro.
I don't think that's
that's life. Go ahead.
I don't think that skill has is going, like you said, what you do when that skill play out. Well, it's like this. If you look at this right now, look at the auto industry, right? Look at the mechanics, right? In a few years, these mechanics who working on these gas-powered cars are probably going to be out of job if they don't get the education to become these engineers to work on these electric power cars.
Well, see. Here's the difference. You got to know the difference between an engineer and a mechanic.
I'm just saying.
It's like the difference between being an electrician and an electrical engineer.
No,
I get it.
That's
I know
the
exactly
thing,
what you're
though.
saying.
That's the thing, though. Are we teaching to work on electrical cars, or are we teaching foresight?
But see, that's the game. That's what you got to figure out. You got to figure out the game first, because that was what I learned. The one thing I learned in the military is like, okay, so check this out. By trade, I'm a computer hacker. Did I have any degrees or any certificates for it? No. But then I realized, I said, well, damn, if I got this skill where I know everything about a computer, and I learned so much stuff about how to build networks, connect cities, connect people, connect all these things. But all I got is a retirement certificate from the military saying, hey, I was an information systems technician. Then I went to college the first time. Ended up getting a degree in information systems networking security. The fuck is that? But then when I jumped into the private sector, now the first 2 weeks I'm out, I got a job and I'm flying back and forth between Hawaii, Phoenix, Seattle, LA, and Vegas in a small little room, freezing my balls off, just keeping cities connected and making sure secure information doesn't mix with unsecure information. And then I find out there's this job called a project manager where you don't touch none of this shit. And you manage almost 4,000 people doing the one job you know how to do. It's all a fucking game. Could I sit here and make $200,000-300 grand a year? Yeah, I could. Just using that degree to do what I want to do. But I realized a long time ago also, do what you love and it'll never turn into work. I didn't love sitting and traveling and never getting a chance to see my kids because I did that for 21 years in the military.
That's real. That's real.
But when you figure those jobs out and figure out the game of those jobs, you find out where you fit in. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. But you got to understand the game behind it. Because you can either be the worker bee or you can be the boss.
Gotcha.
It's your choice.
Hold on. Let me, because look.
Right here.
We could go off all night, man, but I'm going to acknowledge, I got one question for the board, right? And I'm going to acknowledge the comments before I do that. Because Malika is hilarious, but was the truth and said the truth about it. Malika said, I'm good at math on paper, but I've been around drug dealers that would kick my ass calculating numbers in their head.
Yep.
Right? And Lawrence said, which is a good point also, Lawrence Reed, teach your kids how to live off the land. A day is going to come sooner than we all think when we have to provide for ourselves. Dressing an animal, growing our own food, building our own shelters, computers, and all the technology is going to be obsolete. Hopefully that's going to be 200 years from now, Lawrence, but I feel your point though, brother. I really do. You know what I mean? Now, let me just say this to you guys. This is the question I want you guys to really, and like I said, give me a couple lines or so. But the last question is, what do you think your role is to the community as you live your everyday life? You guys understand that question, correct? What do you think your role is? So I'll answer it real quick. My role is to do things just like this. Speak my mind and help you to understand where I'm coming from when I speak it. Not talk at you, but to talk with you. So that's my answer to that question. And we'll start with you, Angie.
I don't know how to answer that.
All right, we're gonna come back to you. We'll come back to you.
Cause I was thinking about it when you said it, and I'm just like,
hey, look, I saw how you was leaning your head. You're like, oh shit, wait a minute. Damon Armstrong, talk to me, baby. You got too deep too? All right, hold on. You ready for the answer song or you good? You want to come back to you?
I'm just mad because smoke blowing crazy smoke, and I want to blow right now myself.
You on flute.
Hey, yo, I'm smoking. I'm smoking. I'm drinking liquor. God damn it!
Oh, I got the liquor.
All right.
I'm all over the place.
Hey, and I'm drinking coffee. No, man. Look at man. It's like I see you, cuz. My role, man, is real talk. My role is, man, from the society that we live in, man. My role is to be an example outside of my home and to take care of my family inside. That's my only role, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because through my experiences, people that came up to me and said I was influencing their life, I didn't even fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time. You know what I'm saying? So I just went through my everyday life being responsible for mine and, you know what I'm saying, holding up my end. You know.
All right, Damon Williams, talk to us, brother. Good answer, Fluke.
Pretty much the same thing as Fluke, because I figured this out about 5-6 years ago, being here in Cleveland and teaching. You know what I'm saying? One of the things I realized was I'm a cool dude. People flock to me. That's one thing I don't have an issue with tooting my horn about. But it's like my job is to be an example of what a man is. I took that example from, the men that I idolized. That was, my grandfather, y'all's father, my Uncle John, Uncle Ronnie, just how smooth that dude was to me. My Uncle Jimmy, guys that always gave sage advice and was just so cool that, you know what I'm saying, ice would freeze again hanging out with them dudes. You know what I mean? And so with that, it was like, and then looking at these kids who just didn't have a decent enough role model that was not a rapper or some type of criminal type deal. I figured my role out, because one of the things I always tell my students and some of these young dudes that I do mentor is, man, your OGs failed you. Half of y'all don't know how to deal with women, and the other half of y'all don't know how to deal with daily life. Some of y'all don't know how to function to the point of you walking around here smelling like a whole moose.
You took on a lot of responsibility. Hey, David.
Yeah, cuz you knocked him in the head with that shit.
Wow.
So for me, that's my I can't go anywhere on the east side of Cleveland without, you know what I'm saying? And I just got here. But I got, it's like I run into people that's like, oh, I know you Coach Bill from Cleveland Heights. Yeah. Or you Mr. Williams from Trinity High School. Yeah. I got about 45 players that know that at any point in time, knock on the door, homie. Got a place for you to crash out in the basement. If you hungry, come to the house. I got you. I learned that from my Uncle E.B. when I was out in, when I was in the military. I was out in L.A. I used to trip at the fact that this dude brought 4 gangs together. 4 gangs. in LA. The schoolyards, the schoolyards, the gear gang, the Marvin Streets, and the bounty hunters from the jungles. Literally could all go to Uncle EB's house, eat, shoot dice, play cards, the whole shot, just chill. And it was like that on top of what I learned from all those guys back at home. I said, I want to mix all that together and be that guy. And done. I don't need no recognition for it. I just want to make sure that you're able to survive. Because there was somebody always there to make sure that I knew or had a survival mode to be able to push forward and do what I need to do and do it positive. So that, man, I figured that's my role.
Gotcha. Angie, you ready? I see you over there shaking, man. If not, I'd let Jaquari go.
I guess my role, man, as of lately, man, is just showing brothers, like you said, you don't have to take the criminal route, you can make mistakes in life and prioritize your life, man, and you can live the same life you was living that you thought you wanted to live in the street, I used to want that life. I used to want it bad. I was pretty good at it. And it was just so much stress just dealing with it, man. You can't satisfy everybody living like this. You can't satisfy your family. You can't fulfill your goals, your community, or with your family when you're doing dirt. You know what I mean? The other day I was in my old neighborhood, man, and one of my homeboys, we was talking. He pulled out some money to my I keep a couple thousand on me, and I said to myself, wow, that's probably everything he got. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't really want to tell the dude I got like $40,000 worth of credit cards in my pocket. So that $1,000, that $2,000, $3,000 that you were happy about, it's nothing. You could have had that if you just had a basic job and paid your bills on time.
And work every day?
Yeah. I'm just saying. You don't have to do it. You know what I mean? It's not possible. I mean,
slow quarter be the fast snooker every time.
Yeah, man. Like it's strange. People don't understand when I tell them this, but I'm living better now than I was when I thought I was living good.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? You see, I'm a pretty boring guy. I don't drink. I don't really smoke. I don't smoke at all. I drink every once in a while. But, you know what I mean? I try to focus on my health, man, and my bank account. Other than that, man,
15 years Scott's pride.
My role, like I said, I think my role is to prove to people that you can come back. You can come back from anything.
Yeah, that's real.
Hey,
and you're an example of it, brother. Look, all five of us are examples of that. And we can name people in our families who are comeback kings and queens, man. This is what it is.
Let me ask all four of y'all, man. How many?
Hold on. Let's get to the quarter first, Luke. Then we go.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Spoke.
I was just short, man. I mean, I think my role, man, is just to, my brother Damon, he mentioned influence, man. My role is just to realize the influence that I have, and as best I can possible. People in my life definitely speak. They come to me for to be in my ear on things, and they're trying to make important decisions or whatever, and that's a hell of a responsibility, man, and it can go through your head. But is it really a responsibility? Is it really a burden? No, it's not a burden, man. It's a privilege, man. When people open up to you, man, when people connect to you for absolutely no reason, and you got, people all over the world, I can make a phone call right now, man, and go to Ghana and have somewhere to lay my head. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, you need to kick it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going next year.
That's why I said that.
You said you want to go where? You can go where?
Ghana. Yeah, Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, Cuba.
I don't see some pictures of Ghana. I don't think I'm coming back.
Hey, cuz. Real talk.
They're
Real talk.
African Americans back into Africa. I think I seen that about a year or two ago.
Yeah,
Right.
that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
I mean, so it's all about making those connections, man, and you know, being in the mindset where, you know, I'm willing to give you, you know, who I am, you know, but I definitely expect the same in return, you know,
No doubt. No doubt.
and like I said, man, it's a responsibility, man, just being a person, you know, who people listen to. So it's my job in the community, man, you know, to be responsible with that. It's my job in the community to put out, you know, put out the good. But you know, I'm also not afraid of telling my stories, man. You know, shit, I done been on my ass several times. You know, you can't teach the yang without the yang, baby. You can't do it.
You can't. It's not possible.
You know, it's an honest conversation, man. It's an honest conversation. You know, and you know whether you try to guide it towards, you know, somebody picking something up from what you say, that's not your place. It's not your responsibility, man. Your responsibility is to put good out in the earth, good out in the world. You know,
Look,
to the best
to
of your
be
ability, and that's what I do.
to be present, man. Because being present is all encompassing, man. What you say, where you at, and what energy you portray. Listen, this is what we're gonna do because, like I said, we can do this shit all night. But you know, we got a strong, you know, what's the name of it? Damon requires strong what? Speak on it, strong.
Speak on the front.
So this part of it, and Angie and Damon, this part of the segment is we're gonna let out my brother Damon. You know, he always has something that he wants to add into the situation. But before you go, Damon, let me just do this. Let me acknowledge everybody on here. Malika, Jafon, Lawrence, Terrence, everybody who came on this live, man, and hit us with the comment. Great interaction with y'all. Jafon, Malika, hit me up. We want y'all on. You understand? Hey, look, you don't have to say much, but come on, talk to us. You know, this is just a conversation. We calling you everyday people, but really and truly, everyday people means a more powerful situation. You have more power over our community because you are in it. So come on, let's hear your story and talk to us. Let me just read Lawrence. He said, I don't play a role. I'm going through this life sowing my seeds. If you decide to water those seeds, that's on the individual. It's not my place to take credit for what someone has accomplished or has not accomplished. Great point, Lawrence, because I don't believe in taking accomplishment, you know, taking credit for somebody's accomplishment. Not at all. You know what I mean? Not even my children. Because what I do is I go as far as saying I said the right things to them and I steered them in the right direction. They made the right decision. So it's there. So what we're going to do, Damon, time for you to speak on it, brother. You ready for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best, bro.
All right, talk to us, man.
Man, you know, I've been watching TV of late, man, because I usually don't watch the news and stuff like that, and I see all the turmoil and all the crazy shit going on with the hearings and all this, and the clandestine meetings they're having and all that stuff coming out. You know what I'm saying? And you look at all the shootings, all that stuff, and the one thing, man, that hit me more so than anything was to be honest with the feelings that I was having at the time as I was taking in all this information, right? And I realized that I couldn't be desensitized anymore, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to look out around the landscape and see what the real threat was. You know what I'm saying? What is that thing that's in place that's going to hinder me from moving forward in my life? I'm good, man. And I'm quite sure all four of y'all good too. You know what I'm saying? Are y'all feeling the stress of the economy and any of that shit? No, it's like normal life. But a lot of us is not like that. I got a son that's getting ready to graduate. That's my last one. He got 1 year left. So I found myself sitting down after, seeing all these things, man, and feeling that true feeling that I was feeling. I felt myself sitting down, and I said, man, I have to talk to my son. At 56 years old, and we didn't have this conversation 100 times. You know what I'm saying? And when he came downstairs and he sat in front of me, I had to implore to him, hey, dude, I need you to survive this bullshit, dog. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, he's doing the right thing, man. Getting his college education, ain't never been in trouble or whatever. But anytime he drive down the damn street, once I let the curtains down and allowed myself to become undesensitized and shit, I had that real fear. You understand what I'm saying? And what that did was implore me to sit my son in front of me and say, dude, I need you to survive this shit. I need you to take care of yourself. I need you to keep your head on a swivel. I need you to not make the wrong moves. I need you, when the fucking police stop you, I need you to invoke your Fifth Amendment rights. You understand what I'm saying? And then after that, don't say shit else. Let your lawyer deal with it. And you call me. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I need you to do. Because when you start talking and you start tripping back, it's not about helping you, man. Whenever the police stop you, and Keith, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Whenever the police stop you, they gaining evidence against your ass. You don't have to, once you invoke that right, you don't have to admit to anything. Matter of fact, when they say, hey, I want you to get out and do the blow test, you don't have to do that. You can sit your ass in the car and let them decide whether they're going to take you to jail or not. Do not incriminate yourself on any level. So I sat there and I was explaining this to my son, and I got emotional, man. Because that's my son. My son's 6'4", 260. You understand what I'm saying? He a threat just by sight. You know what I'm saying? I lose sleep. Once I took that goddamn, when I dropped that curtain, that fear immediately kicked in. And I stepped into that man role. I stepped into that father role. And I get the same speech to my girls too. Because that's the world we living in, man. These motherfuckers trying to steal elections and shit. Really? And we just, and the only thing we can do while doing the right thing is staying alive, just to get to where all five of us are right now. Now you tell me how deep that shit is, dog. It's crazy to me. And that's pretty much, just only, I'm emotional about that, but it's a real fear. You understand what I'm saying? And I hope that people sit their kids down and say, hey, look, you can go to college and get in debt and all this stuff, but there's still that element out there that's going to throw that roadblock, be it institutionalized or a motherfucker stopping you on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be extra vigilant. You know what I'm saying? With what you're trying to do, just to get where me and your mama at right now. You feel what I'm saying? And that's real, and that was a real fear, man, for me. And that's basically all I had to say. If that make any sense, man.
Made a lot of sense, man. Well said. Now, look, we've gone a little longer than we usually do, but this has been a hell of a damn episode, man.
I enjoyed this one, man. This was all right.
Dude, I got so much to say right now, but I'm gonna reserve it for later if you invite me back. Especially off what you just said.
No. That's the whole point, man, because you are reoccurring guests, just to let you know. Now, some housekeeping things before we let go. First and foremost, if you stay with us this whole time, understand, our goal, short-term goal, is to get 1,000 subscribers to strongperspective.com. Man, I said .com. I've been sipping a little too much. Look, on YouTube, everybody.
Hey, Keith. Hey, y'all, look here. We out this motherfucker. So come on and subscribe. God damn it.
Yes, sir. Listen, I got 1,300 Facebook friends. Come on, man.
Hey, real
Look,
quick,
and
check this
I'm
out.
not obligating. I don't want to obligate you guys to go and subscribe. But if you're on YouTube looking at kittens and shit like that, just go to Strong Perspective Podcast, right? Say that shit again. Podcast. And just hit the subscribe. You don't even have to look at the video. But let me tell you this. I'm going to say to you, everyone that listens and that come on board of this, you learn a little bit about who you are as a person. That's our goal of this podcast. I said this early on. My therapy is this. Sitting here, talking with my brothers and talking to the good people that come on. The people that I love, the people that I respect.
Day one.
That's it.
Hey Keith, at least you ain't say Yahoo Internet.
You know what I'm saying?
Black Planet out this motherfucker.
But look.
Hey, real quick though. Fluke, did I lie?
Did you lie?
Did I lie? When I told you, I said, why watch this podcast? Because who turned out to be who? Me, you said they had a conversation?
Yeah. No, you ain't lying, man. I mean, you was kicking the real shit.
Look. Hey,
I got a question.
Damon.
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When y'all start calling Fluky Damon?
Hey, look, you see,
No. Only person I ever heard him call him Damon was his wife.
Yep.
Hold on.
I ain't never even knew his name was Damon. I asked him the other day. I said, how long your name been Damon?
Angelo, we do it for two reasons.
What?
First of all, because of the podcast, we're professional.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Now, and secondly, he don't want everybody to know. Now, he gonna let us say it, but he don't want everybody to know his nickname.
Okay, I get that. I'm the same way. I got you. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I know the difference when somebody call me Angie from my family or from the South Side.
No doubt.
But then when somebody outside of that say it, I feel like they're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
So I understand when you come. Okay, I got you.
No doubt.
Yo, the people I work with call me Hiller. They don't know who Spoke is before.
That's another thing.
Oh my God.
Man, I didn't even know that was your name till Facebook.
I'm gonna tell you the funny. This is funny as hell. When they started calling him by Hiller, I was like, who the hell are they talking about? I had to I'm like, hold on. Oh, okay, that's my brother. You know what I'm
That's my business name.
Yeah. But look, I'm going to give everybody, give me a short thing, real quick. Then you can buy whatever you're going to do. We're going to start with you, Angie.
Oh, man, I enjoyed myself, man. This was real therapeutic, man, and I hope to do it again, man. I always looked up you guys, you know what I mean? Hell, thanks.
Look, we enjoyed you. Damon, it's on you, brother. Damon Williams, it's on you, bro.
Which one?
See what I'm saying?
Damon Williams, it's on you, brother.
Oh man, check this out. I mean, I've been watching since day one, man. You know, and it's been therapeutic to put my opinion out with my family, to understand where I stand and why I think the way I think and how I move the way I move. And I mean, you know, honestly, the other half of that is it's real good to just chop it up, honestly, with four people that I idolize in different ways. My brother's my best friend in the world, and sometimes I don't think he knows it. Like, even though he's the little brother, I recognized his struggle and I looked up to him. And I appreciated that dude so much, and he has no idea how much I did. Corey's always been like, you know, that older cousin / brother that I could always talk to or got a chance to just pay attention, to sit back and watch and emulate. And you two have always been just the guys that those behind you, all of us had to, from myself, Lawrence, Terrence, my brother, any of us younger ones, we had to stay that course that we seen from y'all. So it was for me. It was honestly, today was honestly one of those days that I looked forward to. I hate that I showed up late because I'm not the type of person that always shows up late to anything. I'm usually about 30 minutes early. But this was awesome for me. Absolutely awesome for me.
Damon, Armstrong, it's on you, baby.
I appreciated this, man, because it's very seldom, man, when you can really express what you feel in your heart, you know what I'm saying, without worrying about somebody saying this or saying that, or going off, talking some. When you with your family, man, and people that you was raised with, you can say how you feel and how you think. You know what I'm saying? And that is such a relief, man. That is such a relief. You just don't know. And then I got my cousin Angie coming up with the comic relief afterwards to put everything in perspective. You know what I'm saying? And be on point with this shit. That's what be so funny, man. Be on point with it. And it's like, yeah, you know what? Y'all serious, but let me throw this in right quick. I'm going to stay on the same line with y'all. I'm going to lighten it up, man, so we can leave, whatever. And I've always appreciated that. Damon, man, you just always been that serious brother, man. So I see how everybody gravitated to you wherever you was at. You know what I'm saying? And you always held court. And my two brothers, y'all know how I feel about y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but love and this family. This family. You know what I'm saying? And it don't get no stronger than this, man.
Quiet.
Hey man, once again, man, it was a powerful show, man, and I'm just elated with the privilege, man, of being able to, to help to showcase, two dudes, man, who have had an immense impact on my life, seriously, man. Rarely, just in all honesty, man, being around dudes is funnier to me. I don't like that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? This is what it is, though. Being around you dudes, man. I find myself standing up a little, with my back a little straighter. That and like this is what it is. I'm in the presence of men here. And I think about all the trials that we all been through, man. It's a hell of a thing that we come to this point, man, and be able to top it up with no hostilities, man. With love, seriously, man. It's a rare occasion. Man. The majority of the opinions that were expressed tonight, man, need to be heard on the national level. That's the kind of family we come from.
That's the kind of family.
That is the kind of family we come from, man. And all the respect and love due to you fellas, man. We here, man. We out here. This is our shit. And I thank y'all for being huge, being a huge presence here on this platform, man. Seriously.
Oh yeah. Well, look, fellas, stay on after we come off live. But I'm just gonna close off to say that, like I said this earlier. I remember when you guys were born, and I watched you grow up. And me, if I can use the word proud of the men that you became. That's real deal. There's no smoke. Always. If you understood, if you ever paid attention to, because I love your mother to death. You know what I'm saying? And if you ever paid attention to, anytime I was in your presence, I made sure that I stopped and I made sure I had a conversation to the both of you. Because you deserve it.
Hey.
That's real.
I ain't even talking about your mom. She used to dig in my chest.
I love your mom to death. Look,
oh my God.
Look, your mother is my aunt. You understand?
Man.
Babysitted us. So understand something. This is all realness coming from us, man. And thank you guys for coming on. And just like I said, love you, Aunt Val. Love you, Aunt Jeannie.
Yeah, you
Lika,
bet.
love you. Jafon, love you. Want you to come on. Hey, Lawrence, Terrence, you know how we feel. You know what I mean? All our family. We love y'all. So, subscribe to our shit.
Right.
At least get us to 1,000, baby. We don't want nothing. Look, we ain't taking nothing from you just to click that button. You feel what I'm saying? But we're going to, hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank the folks for hanging in with us. We had a great time. And we're going to go ahead and end this live. This is Strong Perspective Season 2.